Hello, beautiful people. I have a power tool for you to use for the ages, for what we're going through right now. This tool is a salutation or a greeting or a mantra. The specific Sanskrit word is super powerful for this moment in time for several reasons. So, what is it? The word namaste. I say it a lot on this channel, namaste. But what does it really mean? A lot of us say namaste at the end of a yoga class. A lot of us say it to say hi or goodbye. But what does it really mean? Well, namaste is a Sanskrit word that means basically, in street language, the light in me acknowledges and sees the light in you. You know, my God nature, my divine essence sees and acknowledges the God nature and divine essence in you. So the power of that is really profound. So especially with the contrast and polarity, the dense polarity that's happening in the United States right now. So when you acknowledge the light and the divine in another, you are actually calling that person back. All right, there is a practice that you do when someone is kind of possessed by an entity, and all possessed by an entity means is that, there's entities in the field or hanging out in the space in their body. It's very, very common. It's pretty easy to deal with. However, when there's a pretty pesky one that's kind of really entwined and pretty codependent on the soul and the being, it can take over. Okay, it can take over in moments of anger, okay, moments of fear. And you can tell because the person kind of glazes over, all right? And this is a really powerful tool. When you say namaste to someone, you're actually calling back the aspect of light from them and through them and as them, so that that entity actually goes to the back. And so this practice is if you notice that a loved one is having one of those episodes, or like they just don't even seem there, they seem taken over by anger or taken over by even like a different personality that doesn't seem like them, you can call them back by their name. Joe, hey, I want to speak to Joe right now. And the entity's name is usually not Joe. Your partner's name or your colleague might be called Joe, and you call them back by their name. Joe, I want to speak to Joe. The entity goes and goes over here, and then you get Joe back. So namaste is a similar thing. You basically are saying, hey, I'm speaking to the light. That's what I'm speaking to. And it kind of calls the light back. So it's a huge service that you do to someone by really heartfully saying, namaste. My light acknowledges your light, regardless of behavior, regardless of personality. And the more that we can do that for ourselves and for others, we create more of that love and unity and light and divine on planet Earth. So, as Jason Mraz says, look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the good in everyone. And I love that song. I love that songwriter. But basically, that's what namaste is. Namaste is a powerful, powerful tool for these days. Now, right now, in this moment in time, we are having an election. We have very dense polarity. We have two different parties, lots of different perspectives around who should be in the White House for lots of different reasons. Lots of different reasons, for very financial reasons, spiritual reasons, let's see, body reasons, right? Gender reasons, love reasons, what is it? Environmental reasons, right? Everyone has their reason for holding on to the person that they want to see in the White House. And we're seeing a lot of behaviors from different people that want different things. And we're seeing a lot of interesting behaviors and personality traits of the leaders who are trying to get into the White House. What Namaste asks us to do is to not base and define that soul and being by just their actions, by just their behaviors. Namaste is asking us to go straight on in like a razor, like a laser beam, and go right on in to the light, past all the nonsense that they're acting out, and go right for the light. And by every person that acknowledges the light, it grows in them. It grows in that person, and you call it forth. So really genuinely, wholeheartedly, look for the good, look for the light, get your laser focus and say, Namaste. The light in me acknowledges and sees the light in you. Wow, and what if you could turn that around and do that right on yourself too? Namaste. I acknowledge the light within. I acknowledge the light that I am. And so it's a step in allowance. Okay? You know, we all are playing out these roles in the 3D reality, right? We're all playing out something to shift energy, to either create a contrast or to expand the light. The contrast eventually does expand the light, does expand consciousness. So when we come in to these bodies, we're here. We either have a contract to stay in the density, or we have a contract to ascend and go into higher vibrations. The people who have had the contracts to ascend and to bring light to the planet, when you say namaste to them, they will truly, truly have a moment of remembrance, even if it's not super conscious. Are you willing to be the change on the planet that you want to see? Which means that I talk about a lot about the concentric circles, right? Which means that we get out of that dense story and we go out a few rings and we hold that broader perspective. We hold the light. We hold the possibility that the light is there and that we're growing it every time we say namaste. The beauty of the divine in me sees and acknowledges the beauty and the divine in you. And by doing that, you're calling that soul forth. You're kind of doing like a little, oh yeah. Now, just because someone is acting out a part on earth that seems bad and criminal and mean and doesn't mean that there's no light in them. Doesn't mean they're full of like the dark force, right? It could just be that for some reason they've stepped into that role. You know, they could be very, very light within. I know it's kind of confusing, but it's a really important thing to remember. On planet Earth here, everything is as it seems, and nothing is as it seems. There's always an energetic and vibrational backstory. So, you know, I've done some acting with my husband, and he's always like, okay, what's your backstory? And the backstory could have nothing to do with the role or the character that I'm playing in the short movie. But I get my backstory so I can access the emotion that was required for my part. For example, I was in this one movie. It was a zombie movie, and I was bit by a zombie, and I didn't know what to do. I was kind of like at a crossroad, like what, should I jump out the window? Oh, there's zombies out there. Should I just, end my life because I'm going to turn into a zombie and hurt people? So it was at this moment that I was thinking about taking my life in the movie. And I was sitting there contemplating it. And I had to access some very strong emotions. So I accessed that moment. My backstory was when my dog died. And I remember sitting on the dock with her ashes, and just that moment of letting go of life, of a physical body. So that was the backstory for me to tune into so that I could access the emotion. So in the role, you would not be seeing that I was crying over my dog. It looked like I was very present in the moment, crying over my present situation, but I had a backstory. And so every soul, every being on planet Earth has a vibrational backstory, has contracts that they're living out. And just because they look bad or have, they're putting tantrums on, or they have different things going on, doesn't mean that they don't have the light within. And if you feel called to be a light worker, if you feel like you're a star seed, if you're here to bring light to the planet, this is a wonderful tool to use right now. Namaste. The light in me acknowledges and sees and brings forth the light in you. So beautiful, people. Use it. But use it consciously. Think every time you say the word, think about that. The divine in me, the divine that I am, the source energy that I am, acknowledges and sees it in you. I know it is you. I know it as you. And then you call that soul forth, and that soul starts to remember. This channel is all about remembering our greatness. We dive deep so we can rise our vibration high, so we can bring more higher frequency to the planet, so that we can step into that unity consciousness of fifth dimension on planet Earth within these bodies. We have come to that time in history where that is a possibility. These bodies are learning how to rearrange their light bodies, activate DNA. We're learning, we're evolving. We are holding the light in our cells. Our bodies are doing this right here, right now, during this time of the Great Awakening. It is an exciting time to be alive. So, beautiful people, if you find it's your mission to be the change on the planet that you want to see, namaste. Use it, believe in it. Or if you're like, Sanskrit really isn't my thing, you can say, the light in me sees the light in you, if you want to go that route. Whichever you want to do. But it is really powerful to look for the good. It's really powerful to acknowledge the light in another being, to support them in their remembering as well. Beautiful people. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know in the comments what you use. What you use to really connect with someone's lightness. Please remember, not everything is as it seems. Everything has a backstory. Do not let that deter you from connecting with every beautiful light on the planet, behind Every drama and story and broken human is the light. It is there. Focus on the light in them. All right. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate your like and clicking the bell. And if you'd like to join our high vibe tribe, be sure to subscribe. And have a beautiful day. Namaste.